morning, dear learners. Welcome to the teaching learning session of sociology. In today's lecture, we will compare and contrast the perspective of Karl Marx, Emil Durkheim, and Max Weber on economy. In our last lecture, we discussed about their perspective on religion and economy. Today, we will continue with economy. Capitalism. What is capitalism? Capitalism is a system where there are two classes, haves and have nots. Have is that class which owns the mode of production, and have not is that class which doesn't own the mode of production. As a mode of production, capitalism is characterized by the following features. First is production for sales rather than for self use. In the capitalistic system, capitalists produce the goods or commodities for the purpose of earning profits or for the purpose of sales, not for own use. Second is the existence of market where labor power is bought and sold. Because there are two classes, haves and have-nots. Haves are known as capitalist and the labor class is known as have-nots. And in capitalistic market or in capitalism, labor power is bought. Capitalist bought the labor power of have-nots, and for the survival to earn money, these have-nots sell off their labor to earn money. Third is exchange takes place through money. And as we all know, in previous time or in ancient times, there was a barter system. But with the rise of capitalistic system, exchange of goods takes place through money. Even capitalists bought the labor through money. The capitalist controls the production of process because they have the modes of production, because they own machineries, because they own raw material, because they own lands. The capitalist control the financial decision. And in capitalistic system, most important thing is the competition exists in the capitalistic system. Every capitalist wants to earn more and more profit, and for this they compete with each other so that they can sell their product more than the competitors. Now let us discuss about the Marx view of capitalism. What was the Marx view of capitalism? We all know, because when we discussed about the Karl Marx, we discussed about this. Marx and Engels outline certain stages of world history, each characterized by distinctive economic formation, right? Historical dialectism. Marx and Engels studied the previous history or the previous stages or the previous systems, the historical systems, whether it's feudal system, slavery system, or the ancient system. And they characterized and they found out that there are different economic formations in each system. It is this economic formation that shapes other social subsystems, which are termed as superstructure like political structure, religion, values, and culture. According to Marx and Engels, economy is the base of the society, and everything else depends on the economic structure or the economic formation of the society. Everything else, whether it's value, whether it's religion, whether it's political system, whether it's culture, totally depends on the economic formation. Marx and Engel broadly outline four stages in history. First is the primitive or communal stage. Second, the ancient stage based on the slavery system. Third is the feudal system. And fourth is the capitalistic stage. They studied the primitive society. We discussed in historical dialectism that in primitive society there were no class. It was a classless society, right? Slavery society, there were two classes, master and slaves. In feudalistic society or feudalistic stage, there were again two classes, lords and um, that have nots. And the capitalistic stage, capitalist and the laborers. The study of human history in terms of stages with which its own distinct mode of production forms the basis of the Marxian theory of historical materialism. Theory of historical materialism given by the Karl Marx. The base of this theory is economic or the mode of is the economic mode of production or the mode of production. Each stage contains inner contradictions or tensions, whether it's a slavery stage, whether it's a primitive stage, whether it's a feudalistic stage, whether it's a capitalistic stage. Each stage contains certain inner conflicts and contradictions. These contradictions or conflicts eventually break this system down. These contradictions are basically responsible for the breakdown of the system because the feudalistic system has its roots in slavery system. Slavery system broken down because of certain inner contradiction, and a new stage emerges from the womb of the old stage. The stage of capitalism, according to Marxist interpretation of history, is a natural outcome of contradiction within the feudal system. According to Marx, the capitalistic state is the outcome of the contradiction within the feudalistic system. There were certain contradictions and conflicts in feudalistic system, and this has given rise to the capitalistic society or capitalism. Capitalism and class conflict. According to Marx, the history of human society is history of class struggle. Each stage of human history is marked by division of society into two groups, haves and have nots, those who are dominate and those who are oppressed. Marx has given a class conflict theory. According to this theory, there are two classes in capitalistic system, or in every society. According to Marx, there were two classes. One is the dominant class and other one is oppressed class, haves and have nots. Haves owns the mode of production and have not on the modes of production. They sell their labor for the survival or to earn money. This dominant class suppresses the oppressed class, and this will give rise, according to Marx, this suppression is responsible for class conflict. Karl Marx viewed capitalism as one of the stages in human history which emerges out of contradiction of previous stages. Capitalism too is beast with inner contradictions. According to Marx, there are two groups in capitalism, haves and have nots. Haves are known as capitalists. They owns the mode of production, and have nots are the labor class. And economy is the base of the society. To control the have nots, these capitalists forms a superstructure of religion, values, morals, political system to control have nots. These have nots works or sell off their labor to capitalists. They are not aware, according to Marx, these have nots are not aware about their strength. Because of this superstructure, capitalists control their consciousness or control the consciousness of labor class. As per Karl Marx, the day when these laborers will come to know, will gain their consciousness, will come out of their false consciousness, they will revolt against these capitalists, and that stage, and a stage will come where there will be no class and all will be equal. And Karl Marx called this system as communism. Weber's view on capitalism. What was Weber's view on capitalism? Weber speaks of special kind of capitalism known as rational capitalism. He discussed about rational capitalism. A rational capitalism, according to Weber, is a unique Western development. This is because the idea of rationality and process of rationalization too are distinctively Western. He has given the concept of rational capitalism, and according to Weber, this is unique to the Western countries. Why this is unique to the Western countries according to Weber? Because the idea of rationality and rationalization is related to Western countries according to Weber. Weber on rationality. It involves what is rationality? According to Weber, rationality involves gaining mastery or control of the external world. This is rationality. Controlling the external world or gaining mastery. And according to Marx, as per Marx, this phenomenon is related to the Western countries because they gain the mastery to control the external world. Why? How? Because of the industrialization, because of the scientific development, or because of the enlightenment. Rationality involves the organization of human life in such a manner that greater efficiency and productivity can be attained. If any organization work according to rationality, then the efficiency and greater efficiency and productivity can be attained. Rationalization means an attempt by human to control the environment by organizing and coordinating human activities in a certain regular and predictable manner. How can you control the environment? Humans can control the environment, or the environment means external world, by organizing and controlling the human and coordinating the human activities in a certain regular and predictable manner. Human beings have gained such a degree of understanding about the world around them that the nature is no longer regarded as mysterious or incalculable. Because of scientific development, human beings have gained the understanding about the world, about the environment. And for them, for human being, this world is no longer a mysterious or incalculable. They can calculate their moves, they can understand their environment and can carry out their activities and can control the environment by their activities. Rationalization and Western civilization. Science, a body of verifiable knowledge well developed in West. We all know scientific development. It is well developed in West rather than East. A rational state with specialized institution, written laws, and constitution which regulates the political activity. Rational state is that state which has specialized institutions. Rationalized state have written rules, laws, and constitutions, and these rules, laws, and constitutions regulates their political activities. Means Western world have written rules, constitutions, specialized institution, and these regulates their political activities. According to Max Weber, art like Western music, which has a system of notation, simultaneously use a number of instruments and so on, which are not observed by same extent in other system of music. According to Max Weber, even the music system or even the Western music is more developed than the Eastern music. They are more, the Western music is rational than the Eastern music. Economy is which is characterized by rational capitalism. So according to Weber, economy is a characteristic of rational capitalism. What is traditional and rational capitalism? In traditional capitalism, most households are self sufficient and produce for self consumption, the basic necessities of life. Traditional capitalists mostly trade in luxury goods. What was the traditional capitalism? Traditional capitalism that they produce the goods for themselves only, for self consumption, not to sell those products. To fulfill, they produce to fulfill their basic needs. And traditional capitalists mostly trade in luxury goods. If they trade in something, they trade in luxury goods. That was the traditional capitalism. In traditional capitalism, while rational capitalism depends on the mass production and distribution. Traditional capitalism produces for their own needs, while rational capitalism produces on mass level and distribute it or sell that product. Precondition for rational capitalism. In what sort of socio-economic milieu can capitalism develop? What are the preconditions for rational capitalism? First is private ownership of material resources necessary for production, that is, land, machineries, raw material, factory, building, etc., should be owned by the private player. If one wants to develop as a rational capitalist or one wants to be a rational capitalistic society, then this mode of production should be privately owned. Private ownership of the mode of production on material resources. Second requirement is Free market. There should be no restriction on the flow of trade. Wherever one wants, one can sell off their product. There should be free market. Rational technique of production and distribution of goods. The techniques used for the production and for the distribution of the product should be rational. Rational legislations. There should be a system of laws which apply to all members of the society. This would simplify the making of economic contracts. Each individual would have certain legal obligation and rights which would be codified or written down. So there should be a rational rules regulation which should be applicable to all, and this will make the production and the distribution of the product easier. There should be free labor force. Laborers have a legal freedom to work where and when they want to. Their relationship with the employers is contractual, not obligatory. No, that there should be a free labor force. Wherever a laborer wants to work, they can work with that capitalist, or they can work with that organization. No organization or no capitalist can bound them to work for them or to work with them. But as we all know, because of the survival they have to earn money, and for this they sell off the labor, and they usually sign the contract with the capitalist so that they can earn money. But according to Weber, a rational capitalism is that capitalism where there is a free labor, that um, the relationship between the uh, employee and employer should be contractual, not obligatory. Commercialization of economy. To make rational capitalism possible, there must be opportunities for everyone to participate in enterprise. Anyone who wants to be a capitalist, who wants to produce the goods, they should get the chance. They should have the opportunities to participate in enterprise. Factors contributing to the growth of rational capitalism. There are certain factors which contributes to the growth of rational capitalism: economic factors, political factors, religious and cultural factors contributes to the growth of rational capitalism. The future of rationalized Western world is the iron cage. It is said by the Max Weber. Why he said this, we'll discuss it later on. Human beings get caught in the prison of their own making, an iron cage from which there seems to be no escape. Rational capitalism and its partner, the rational bureaucratic state, perpetuate a certain lifestyle in which the roles of human beings are robbed of creativity and adventure. The world around us loses its charm. It reduces human to be automatons. Basically, it is an alienative system. As per Weber, this rational capitalism is good for the growth of any of the country, but this rational capitalism and its partner, the rational bureaucratic system, we discussed about the bureaucratic system of Max Weber, and that system makes the this makes the human being behave like a robot. This snatches out the creativity and adventure of human beings. right? These human beings loses charm in the world around them, and uh, it reduces the human beings to robots, and this is an alienative system. Comparison between Marx and Weber. We discussed the concept of Marx, then we discussed about Weber. Now we will compare their views, that is the views of Marx and Weber. Difference in approach. Karl Marx takes society as his unit of analysis, while Weber studies societies in terms of meaning attributed or given by individual to world around them. So Karl Marx has taken whole society as a unit of analysis, while Weber has given importance to the individual. Weber attempts an interpretative understanding, that is Vastani, of social phenomenon. According to Weber, one should understand why an individual is performing something or is taking some action. One should interpret the reason. It is very important because of this interpretation of an individual will help in understanding of social phenomenon. The emergence of capitalism. Marx sees the emergence of capitalism in terms of shift in mode of production. Because of shift of mode of production, according to Karl Marx, economy or mode of production is responsible for every change in the society. It is the base for, according to Marx, this mode of production or economy is base of society. Everything else depends on the mode of production. And according to Marx, this capitalism emerges because of shift in mode of production. From feudalistic system to capitalistic system, there is shift in mode of production. In capitalistic system, there are two classes: capitalistic class and labor class, or haves or have-nots. Have is that class which owns the mode of production, and have-nots is that class which don't own the mode of production. So this is actually the mode, according to Marx. This is actually the mode of production uh, which which is responsible for the emergence of the capitalism. The economy or the material world is the infrastructure or base which molds the other subsystems like culture, religion, polity, and many other things. Weber analysis is much more complex than the Karl Marx analysis. In order to understand why and how rational capitalism emerged, Weber thinks it is important to understand the value systems that make it possible. Max Weber has given importance to the value system. He has given the concept of rational capitalism. So, according to Weber, it is very important to understand the value system which makes the rational capitalism possible. Marx put economy before religion. Weber put religion before economy. That is the basic difference. According to Marx, economy is the base of the society, and this religion, culture, politics all depends on the economy. These are the superstructures. But according to Weber, religion is one of the factor which played an important role in emergence of capitalism, as we discussed earlier too. According to Max Weber, it is the Protestant ethics which played a role in emergence of capitalism. According to the ethics of Protestant group, one should work hard. God has chosen you for some specific things. You should work according to the will of God. You should earn money, earn profits, and rather than spending that profit on luxury, you should reinvest that profit and earn more profit. That's why he put religion before economy. According to him, religion is one of the factors which is responsible for the emergence of capitalism, while according to Marx, religion depends on the economy. It is a superstructure. Economy or the mode of production is the base of the society. Consequences of capitalism and remedy for change. For Karl Marx, capitalism symbolizes exploitation, dehumanization, and alienation of a working class. According to Marx, capitalist exploits the working class. Capitalist exploits the working class. The conditions in which the labor class lives or work is dehumanizing. It is a it's this capitalistic system symbolizes the dehumanization, and this capitalistic system alienate the working class from their creativity. Not only from their creativity, but they this alienate them from themselves as well as from their fellow workers. It is a system based on inequality and will ultimately break down. According to Marx, this system has conflict and contradiction, and this system will break down because of these conflict and contradictions, and this will give rise to a new system. This breakdown will be brought about its own inner contradictions. The proletariat will bring about a revolution and a thus new stage of history, namely communism will born. According to Karl Marx, this capitalistic system is dehumanizing system. It is responsible for alienation. This is exploitative system. Capitalist exploitates the working class in the condition in which the working class works and lives is really dehumanizing, and this system alienates the working class from their creativity, from their fellow workers, and from them too. There are much contradiction in this system, and these capitalists controls the consciousness of the working class. The day this working class will gain their consciousness, the day this working class will come out of their false consciousness, they will revolt against the capitalist, and a new system because of a revolt, a new stage of human history or a new system will come up, and this system is will be known as communism, where there will be no class. This communism system will be a classless system according to Karl Marx. For Weber too, rational capitalism is basically alienating for human society. He agreed with Marx on the concept of alienation. As per Weber, rational capitalism also alienates the human society. Rational capitalism and rational bureaucratic state go hand in hand. Rational capitalism and bureaucratic system work together. Because of this rational capitalism and bureaucratic system, human life get routinized, monotonous life हो जाता है. Human being experienced disattachment of the world. But Weber is pessimistic about the future. Unlike Marx, he doesn't think revolution or collapse of the system. He was not very sure about the future. He was pessimistic about the future. Marx was pessimistic about the future. According to Weber, there will be no revolution or the collapse of the system. As per Marx, the progress of science and technology and human quest to gain control over nature and the world are process that cannot be reversed. The process of scientific development, the process to gain control over nature and the world cannot be reversed. So he was not very sure, or he was not agreed with the Marx about the concept of revolution. It is this very rationality, however, which is imprisoned human being its iron cage. As per Weber, this rationality will become an iron cage for human beings. While Marx emphasizes the irrationality and contradiction in capitalism, which will, according to him, lead to change, Weber speaks of rationality. According to Karl Marx, irrationality and contradiction within the capitalism will lead to change in this system, but Max Weber speaks about the rationality. Marx studies in its terms of historical stages which society passes through, historical dialectism. He studied various historical societies to understand of emergence of new society from the previous society. Capitalism emerges as a result of contradiction in the earlier stage, bringing about a new mode of production. As per Karl Marx, the capitalism arises because of the contradiction of feudalistic system, and this has given rise to a new mode of production of the capitalism. Weber too emphasizes the economic factor like Marx. According to Weber, economic system is important, but his understanding of capitalism is more complex, taking into account the value systems and beliefs, keeping with his interpretative understanding of social phenomenon. He has given importance to the value system and the belief system. He talked about the interpretative understanding of social phenomenon. Both Weber and Karl Marx points out that capitalism has negative consequences for human society. They agreed that this capitalism have negative consequences for human society. However, their vision of future is very different. Marx preaches revolution and change, but Weber has no such hopes. Marx talked about Marx talked about the revolution, but according to Weber, there will be no there will be no revolution, and Why there will be no revolution? Because it is impossible to revert back all the scientific development. Weber was pessimist about the future. According to Weber, this rational capitalism and rational bureaucratic system will will be an iron cage, right? So we discussed the comparative perspective of Karl Marx, Emile Durkheim, and Max Weber. Let me summarize all this for you. Max Weber's view, Karl Marx's view, and the Emile Durkheim's. Karl Marx, according to Karl Marx, economy is base of every society. All societies depends on economy. How he reached to this conclusion, economy or mode of production? He studied about the various previous societies. He studied the primitive society. He studied about the slavery society, slave society, then feudalistic society, and then capitalistic society. And this concept is known as historical dialectism. Historical dialectism is because he rooted back to the he reverted back to the history, and he find out that there is a different mode of production, and there are the conflicts in between the there is a conflict within each and every system, and because of this conflict has given rise to a new system, and the mode of production is different in each and every system. Like in primitive society, it was, according to Marx, it was a classless society. Everyone was the owner of the land or the mode of production. That was the classless society. But there were contradiction in this society, and this society broken down and has given rise to a new society known as the slavery society. Now there are in slave society there were two antagonistic classes, masters and slaves. Masters controls the slaves. Masters are the dominant one, and slaves are the dominated. Then the slave revolted against the master class, and this has given rise to a new system, that is the feudalistic system. In feudalistic system, again there were two antagonistic classes. First is the feudal lords, and then the proletariats. Feudal lords were those who owns the land, and the workers work for the feudal lords. There were conflicts between these two classes, and this proletariat again revolted against the dominated class, and this has given rise to a new society known as the capitalistic society or capitalism. In capitalism, again, there are two antagonistic classes, that is the capitalist and the worker class, haves and have nots. What are the haves? According to Karl Marx, haves are those which owns the mode of production, whether it's a raw material, lands, building, factories, anything, and have nots are those which don't own the mode of production. Because of breakdown of the feudalistic system, because of the breakdown of the feudalistic system, those proletariat or those farmers were started moving to the uh, urban areas, and they started working for the capitalist. Though the capitalists have mode of productions, because they own the mode of production, they purchase their labor at low cost for the production, so that they can earn profit. And the condition in which the labor class was working, or the labor class was living at that era, was very bad. The capitalists were exploiting the capitalist or the dominant class, according to Karl Marx, uh, exploits the dominated class or the labor class, and this This capitalistic system, according to Karl Marx, is dehumanizing because the condition in which the labor class works and live is very bad. Then it is exploitative system because the capitalist exploits their labor class. They purchase their labor at low cost and force them to work for longer hours, and this this system alienates from their labor class from their creation. What is the concept of alienation? This concept again was given by the Karl Marx. According to Karl Marx, this concept of alienation is what alienation is when this detach the working class or the worker class from their production. Suppose a worker is manufacturing a part of a machinery, right? According to him, he is just producing a part which is useless or meaningless. He never feels like this is my creation because it's almost difficult or impossible. He will be able to see the end results of his production, because if he will not produce that part, then it will not be possible to produce the end product. Then they become detached from their creation. They feel like that this is not my creation, I'm creating it for someone else and getting paid for this alienates them from their creation. This uh, uh, diminishes their creativity. This only not alienates them from their creations but also from their fellow workers, because of the tough competition or because of the tough living condition, they alienate from their fellow beings. They feel like we should not communicate much, and in that they alienate from themselves because they feel like they are not doing something meaningful. What they are doing is just meaningless. They are just earning money for the survival, right? So this alienate. According to Karl Marx, this uh, capitalistic system will break down. This system has contradictions. This system also has a contradictions, right? This system will break down because of these contradictions. How these contradictions will break down? He has given the concept of class conflict. He has given the theory of class conflict. What was the class conflict? Class conflict is that, according to him, the economy or the mode of production is the base of every society, and this capitalist makes the superstructure of religion, polity, morals, values to control the consciousness or to create the false consciousness among the um worker class, to control the consciousness of worker class. And this false consciousness they control the through this superstructure, they control the consciousness of the worker class. When the worker class feel like this is my destiny, it was destined like this, it is holy to do that, it is not good to do that, good, bad, sacred, profane, destiny. These terms were formed by the capitalist to, according to Marx, to control the consciousness of the working class. Right? They this working class lives in the false consciousness. According to Karl Marx, till date till date they are not. This working class is not aware about their strength. The day will come when they will aware about their strength. They will come about this false consciousness, and the workers will revolt against the capitalist, and this will give rise to a new system. And he has given name that system to communism. According to him, a new system named communism will come out from this revolution. And this system, in this system there will be no class. This will be a classless system. That's why he said that The revolution is this will result this capitalism contradiction conflicts between the classes and the contradiction within the capitalism will give rise to a new system, and the revolution will be responsible for a rise of a new system, right? And he has given that system this he has given the name communism to that system, right? It was Karl Marx. Durkheim, Emile Durkheim. Emile Durkheim was a French sociologist. It was because of his efforts we are able to study sociology as an academic discipline. He worked he worked hard to establish sociology as a separate academic discipline. Emile Durkheim talked about division of labor. According to Durkheim, division of labor is required. Division of labor is good. Why division of labor is good? Because according to Durkheim, this division of labor brings solidarity in society. This will bring peace in society. He described two types of solidarities: mechanical solidarity and organic solidarity. Mechanical solidarity, what is mechanical solidarity? According to Durkheim, in primitive society, there was mechanical solidarity. Mechanical solidarity exists in those societies which are homogeneous, where all people are alike. They all work like their skills are alike. But what joins them, what unites them is their um what unites them is their sense of we feeling. Like in community, we feeling is there, so this is mechanical solidarity. Mechanical solidarity exists in those society which are homogeneous. Skills are so every individual possesses more or less same skills, but but what but what but what joins them, that is the we feelings join them, right? Next is organic solidarity. Organic solidarity Organic solidarity exists in those societies which are heterogeneous, where there is more division of labor, where every individual possesses a different skill set. And this division of labor or these skill sets are responsible for this solidarity in these types of these societies. This type of solidarity, organic solidarity, is found in more advanced societies, because everyone depends on other for their to fulfill their work, right? Then he discussed about suicide. According to Durkheim, suicide there are certain factors which are responsible for suicide. He discussed about the suicide in details. He discussed four types of suicide. According to Durkheim, the unit of analysis is society. It is society which is important rather than individual. So, individual consciousness or individual will doesn't matter in front of society's will. As per Durkheim, collective consciousness is more important than the individual consciousness. This society controls the individual, and it is required to maintain peace and harmony in the society. Everyone should follow the rules formed by the society. Then he discussed about totem. Totem is, what is totem? Totem is something which symbolizes sacred. Something sacred is totem. It could be an animal, it could be a plant, or it could be any non-living thing or a living thing. That is totem. According to Durkheim, society is totem. Means society is worshipable. Society is above all. Right? So he has given that much importance to society. As per Durkheim, society is totem, society is worshipable. Then he has given the concept of profane and sacred. He distinguished between sacred things and profane. Sacred, which is holy, important. Profane, which is not that important. Mundane things. According to Durkheim, mundane things are profane things, while sacred are those things which are holy, which are very important. Right? Max Weber. Max Weber has given more importance to individual rather than society. According to Max Weber, individual's consciousness is important than the societal consciousness, because it is the individual consciousness which forms the society. It is the individual which forms the society. So according to him, he has given the concept of Varsthane, that is interpretative sociology, interpretative sociology. What is the Varsthane? Varsthane, according to Weber, one should understand and interpret the meaning of actions taken by the individual. Why someone is doing something, why someone has taken some action. He has given importance to religion. He studied the various religion, in fact, various advanced religion. He studied about Hinduism, he studied about Buddhism, he studied about Jainism, he studied about Confucianism, he studied about Protestants. According to him, the religion played an important role in development of capitalism. This is the Protestant ethics which is responsible for development of capitalistic society. He has given the concept of bureaucracy. He described bureaucracy in detail. He has given the concept of rationality. What is rationality? Controlling or mastering the surroundings is rationality. He has given the concept of rationality. He described about authorities in detail, about power, what is authority and what is power. Any legitimate power is known as authority. And then he discussed about bureaucracy. According to Weber, as Karl Marx said that there will be a revolution and new era will come and a new system will come, but Weber was pessimistic about the change. According to Weber, this rational capitalism will be an iron cage for human beings. This will deprive the creativity of human being. Human being will not be able to come out of this cage. Max Weber agreed with Karl Marx that this capitalistic system is an exploitative system. With this, it finishes our BSOC 133. In our next lecture, we'll start with a new topic. Till then, thank you very much. Namaskar.